Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Nice to meet
Good
you.
morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good. Can you see me okay?
Yeah.
Yes, and you?
Can you see
Yes,
us?
I see you. Yes, I see. Who are the people in the background?
Well, they are our hosts here. They're
Oh. Okay.
we are in the studio of a graphic designer of Center of Contemporary Art in Warsaw.
Okay.
Who
Good.
happens to be also one of the main people in the group that invited us to this project.
Okay. Now, when you broadcast what I'm doing, will you broadcast my picture or just my voice?
We will broadcast your picture and your voice.
Yes, I realize my voice. So I wasn't prepared for that, but I guess I look okay.
You look brilliant.
Well, no. Well, we'll see that. We'll see about that.
Where are you now?
Okay. I'm sitting in an apartment in Paris where, you see, there's out the door, where Carol Martin and I are staying until the end of April or middle of May. And she's teaching at the University of NYU Paris, and I'm an Erasmus fellow traveling around Europe, lecturing, trying to do some writing, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Great, great.
So how's Tomas feeling? Kubakovsky, is he feeling better?
Well, I didn't get any news from him recently. I hope he is.
Right. Yeah, it's sad that he's feeling so badly.
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll get better. So we have a whole set of questions, but if you feel like diverging from any of them, just go ahead.
That's fine. I'm not sure I know what you want to know, so let's try it. We'll see what happens.
Okay. We're not sure if we know exactly what we want to know, but we might just discover it in the meantime.
Here we go.
You starting your book about performance studies reader from a description of yourself. You start with I will first introduce myself, and so somehow you put yourself as a kind of being in the set of these performative factors and vectors. And can you also do something like this for us to describe which kind of performance we are or are you?
Which kind of performance you are? I have no idea.
You are. Which kind of performance you are?
Well, that's a very big question. I think that people, including myself, shape themselves according to their circumstances. I always like to think of different images that might represent what a person is. I don't believe that there's a core personality, I think what Freud might have believed, that there is a particular person and you have to get that person understood and expressed. I think it's more like clouds. If you look at a cloud in the sky, it looks very, very solid. But if you look at it very carefully, you'll see that it's constantly dissolving and reforming itself. And that actually what the cloud is an intersection of moisture and air currents. And it's visible and it looks like it's something in itself, but it's really being created by all of those dynamics. Well, that was fun.
That was a lot like a cloud disappearing, wasn't it?
You see? So you should leave that in. We actually vanished right on cue.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. You were speaking of how how you are right now, a certain set of, you're in a specific point as a cloud.
Correct.
And could you tell us a bit about how, in terms of your area of studies, how different you are as a, say, performance study cloud today than you were, say, in the 70s?
Well, I'm not that different, I don't think, because if I read what I wrote in the 70s, it seems pretty accurate. I think the world has caught up with my cloud rather than my cloud changing very much. Because in those essays, ranging from something like Poetics of Performance or from ritual to theater and back, or drama, script, theater, and performance, on to restoration of behavior, I was saying that, first of all, performance is a very broad spectrum of events, and that art performance is only one instance of much larger sets of performances in ordinary life, in rituals, in sports, in popular entertainments. And what performance studies became in a very serious way, and what many, many people are now doing, is to follow those various streams of thought, which weren't mine only. Other people also had these ideas. Certainly Irving Goffman had them in a certain way, and Victor Turner had them in another way, and Clifford Geertz had them in another way, and other people, Barbara Kirshenblatt-Gimblett, who is currently, well, not at this instant, but she's for the last 2 years been in Warsaw, working on a historical memory museum there. And what has happened is that these overarching ideas which I had, that there is a continuum between animal behavior and human behavior, that there's another continuum between artistic and non-artistic performance, that there's another continuum between personality and play, what we were talking about, that cloud. All of these things now are, in quotation marks, serious academic subjects. They're also serious and also playful artistic subjects. So from the 1950s forward, people began to make non-theatrical performances. Like Hans Thees Lehmann has just written his book, Post-Dramatic Theater. Mm-hmm. But it's nothing new. Post-dramatic theater is 50 years old. It's maybe even 100 years old. What Duchamp was doing, what the Dadaists were doing, what some of the futurists were doing was post-dramatic theater. So it's not where I separate from Lehmann, and where I separate from the whole idea of post, is that the classic job of the avant-garde was to destroy the past and to institute a new present. What we have, however, is multiple existences. Very little gets destroyed, at least not in the last 50 or 100 years. So we have the conventional theater, we have the conventional dance, we have huge state theaters. I'm about to see on Sunday afternoon, I'm about to see Vorlakovsky's Tramway, which is Streetcar Named Desire, at the Odeon here in Paris. I'm sure it'll be interesting because it's Vorlakovsky, but I'm also sure it will be conventional because it's Tennessee Williams and it's a famous movie star. So that doesn't mean that that theater doesn't exist or that I'm not interested in it. What we have with all this digital stuff and with the augmentation of individual memory is an ever-increasing archive of performance memories and performance identities. So it's not so much that we're in a post-dramatic era, but we're in a multi-dramatic era or a multi-performance era. And that affects our individual existence as well as our artistic existence. In other words, what Alan Capra wrote quite some time ago is that there were two main streams of art, lifelike art and art-like art. So it is true that at the extremes, we can tell the difference between Duchamp's fountain, a urinal, and Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. It's clear that there's a difference between them in intention, in place of exhibition, in reception. But in the middle, something that is not the Mona Lisa and is not fountain, it's harder and harder to distinguish what's art and what's not art, what's performance and what's not performance, and that's a very interesting situation.
It's interesting, but isn't it